You know what, dude? I think you might have to go in your kennel for a little while. No, we're not doing that right now. No. How about you take this, go on in your house. We're gonna see, man. You might need to go in there, pal. Open Zoom meetings, all right. No, man, you were chill all afternoon, and then I get ready to start this, and you're gonna wolf out, huh? You are an interesting creature, Sam. All right, homie, that's not gonna fly. So I hate to do it. I really do. You're gonna go in the house for a little while, okay? But the good news is you can have your toys in there. It's just not me having a ruckus about it, okay? Come on, house. House. Oh. Being on in there. You're out. Back to still. I was gonna leave you out, man. So get another one. Decided to not do nothing. That's all right. You can go for another walk later. Right now, let me do my thing, all right? A little time. Cool, man. Let's turn the silence on now. You know what? This is not Yin tune. Yeah, I think that'll do. Yeah, that'll do nicely. All right. Hey, y'all. Well, we got people showing up. So before we get going, you might want to or a towel or both. No, I sure like to use a block. Go into deer pose. Internal rotation on my femur is just challenged. Block really helps out with that situation. Hey, there's a Haley over there. Cool. Hi.
Happy Friday, Steve. How you doing?
Right on. Doing okay, thanks. Yeah, you're all right.
What are you doing?
Just another minute or two and we'll get going. So yeah, now is the time to grab your props. I think I'm just in case. Yeah, what's up? Before I forget.
Here.
Big room going. This is exciting.
How many are we?
The number says 12, but well, I'm on here twice, so I guess that would be 11. We still got another moment before we get going. Just like that. There's another one. Oh yeah. This is cool.
You should start putting out more classes. People are thirsty.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it, man. Me too.
There.
Me too.
There's a baby.
There's a little one laughing. That's a cool sound. Hey, Raven. Good to see you. Now it's a party. All right.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening, good afternoon. This is Swarna Lokesh.
Nice to see
Hello.
you. Thank you.
I'm joining for the practice session. I'm doing the teacher training.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Well, this okay. You're very welcome to be here. I'm gonna guide us through a yin practice on this one here. So when we get going, I will mute everybody out.
Okay.
And again, it's a yin flow. So if you like to use blocks, towels, or straps, nothing too complicated. It's like 3 poses. So simple, but certainly doing in.
Do I get opportunity to do the teaching the practice session?
This is not a teaching practice session, unfortunately, but I tell you what, Monday at noon, at 12 noon Central Time, I'll be doing one of those. I know the other teachers have them at other times as well. We got a bunch of those available. This one just don't happen.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm looking for the session where I can do the practice teaching.
Yeah, that would be the one I'm doing on Monday, or the other ones the other teachers are doing.
Monday.
But hang out with me today.
Today, definitely. I'll hang out with you. And then Monday, I will join to see if I can do a part of that is for the training session. Practice
Yeah, I'll
teaching.
tell you what, you come into this Zoom room on Monday at noon, and I will put you on first. We'll make sure you got time. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Dig it, and it's the deal. All right, man. I'm glad we had that conversation.
Conversation. Okay.
Hey, we're 3 minutes after the hour, so look, I'm gonna mute everybody out. Can you hear me okay? Like, hold your hand up if you can hear me. All right. Most of you got a hand up. Kate, can you hear me okay? I don't think you can hear me. Let me shoot a quick message here. We're gonna get these are the challenges of the online. It's cool. I just chat there for you, Kate. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Can you hear my voice?
He said, do you hear my bullets?
He said, can you hear my voice?
Muting everybody out now. But you will have the liberty to unmute yourself if necessary in the event of emergency. Okay, as I've said before, these classes, I put it on Spotlight, so y'all don't have to worry about being videotaped. Man, that shows my age. You're not being recorded. The only thing you should see on the screen is me. Hi. So you do have your privacy, just like privacy of your own home. But we're also in the same room together, sharing energy. It's pretty cool. We're gonna get going here. If you got a block, whatever, have it to where you can reach it. And we're going to begin this in a seated position of your choice. You know, we can go crisscross applesauce, like Sukhasana or Siddhasana. I like whatever you choose. I suggest your right shin out in front. It'll just help you find your way to the first pose. So get on your mat, get seated, grounded. And again, if it's all right with you, right leg forward. Just take a minute to settle into it. I'm just going to find some grounding here. I'm going to find some music too. I don't know if it'll pick up over Zoom. All right. I can see most of y'all. It looks like you're in a nice seated position. I'm just going to start out doing a few things here with the breath. And as always, everything I cue, everything I offer is simple suggestion. It's up to you to take that suggestion, flirt with it, investigate it, use your discernment to decide what you do with it. You are the final arbiter of what you do in this practice. First thing with the breath is just breathe through nostrils. Your lips are together, but your teeth aren't touching. Just start letting breath spill in and out through your nose. You know, maybe your nostrils are a little stuffy and that doesn't work. Well, then breathe through your mouth. That's okay. And second, just for a few moments in the beginning, fill up to capacity on an inhale. And then exhale completely, every little bit of air out of your lungs there. Just a few cycles of that full, deep breath. You just, clearing some stuff out of the way is all. Send a little notification to your vagus nerve to kind of switch from fight or flight into breathe and feed. chill zone. Yeah, nice. Now begin to let your breath just inhale as deep as natural. No force, no intention. Just let the breath come in however it goes. And same thing, let it exit in the exact same manner. Just let it go what it do. Natural breathing, apana breathing. Your attention is not so much directed at moving your breath. It's just there observing your breath. It's like you can see it enter your nostrils, past the back of your tongue, on into lung. You feel it do a couple swirls around the base of the lungs, and then it just leaves. It just rises, leaves your nostrils, and maybe even gives a little kiss on your upper lip on its way out, right? It's nice. Breath is just going to be kind of like a beacon. When the mind gets to wandering, and it will, just notice, oh, my mind is wandering. I think I'll watch my breath again. And when the body wants to fidget, and it will, just notice, oh, there's those fidgets. I think I'll watch my breath instead. Now, there's this one old boy a long time ago sat underneath a Bodhi tree. We called him the Buddha. He said a lot of things. One of the things he shared with us, he said that the path to the unconditioned, that's the mind state where suffering has no purchase. The path there is through mindfulness of the body. What do you think he meant by that? As we spend our time indulging in stillness, we can observe sensation, just looking at it, like a witness, like a third party. Without cluttering the mind with a bunch of different poses and transitions and unnecessary movement. Trying to find the middle path between different poses and just sitting still. Wonder what that looks like. Let's find out. First pose, pigeon. Bring your hands to the mat right out in front of your right shin there. Kind of keep your right knee up towards your right wrist. Start stepping your left foot straight back. Use your toes of your left foot to walk your left knee back. And as the foot walks back and brings the knee with it, start finding your left thigh contacting the surface of whatever you're on, mat, carpet, tile, concrete. Stay up on top of your left thigh. Wherever your right sit bone is, maybe it's up in the air a little bit, maybe it's on a block, maybe it's touching the mat. Wherever it is, just stay up on your left thigh. And we'll find our sensation by adjusting our right foot for something a little sweeter, less intense. Right heel comes back towards left hip. If you're not feeling much pressure in the knee and it's okay with you, you want a little more, you bring your right ankle up towards your left wrist. Find your edge. that place, right between too much, not enough. Once you're at your edge, just soften around it, melt. Using exhales, quick scan of anything gripping or holding, and just letting go and surrendering with every breath out. You may be up on your hands or maybe down on your forearms or all the way down on your chest. It's kind of personal. Second point of attention going into pose is going to be time. It takes a little bit of time to touch ourselves where we're looking for. Meridian tissues, extracellular matrix. Takes, I don't know, 90 seconds, 120 seconds. We're all a little different. Move beyond muscle into connective tissues. You know, the anatomy where your subtle body resides, your soul, your energy. And the third aspect of a yin pose would be, well, that would be stillness. Eliminating any unnecessary motion, any fidgeting. No need to clean the toenails. You can do that later. Only motion being any adjustments needed for more or less sensation. As you observe your breath moving naturally of its own accord, take a look at what your flesh feels right now in this moment. Consider a sponge. Sensation of compression would be like squeezing a sponge. Shearing would be kind of like twisting the sponge. Tension would be just lengthening the sponge. And as you identify the sensation, the location, label it, but labeling mindfully without the attachment sort of adjective. Rather than saying, that's uncomfortable, or, oh, that's nice. Perhaps say, that's warm. Oh, that's cold. Some people feel in color. Maybe that feels like yellow. Or perhaps a lavender. Maybe you identify a sensation with sound. Whatever it is, just let it be raw, uncooked. And as we enter into that body phase shift, and I notice the phenomenon of thoughts becoming a little busy. Wonder why that is. And we can address that in the same manner as sensation. We just stare at it. And just look at that thought. The thought perhaps is saying, I want you to wiggle your fingers. I want you to shake your hip. And it can say that, that's okay. Perhaps you can choose to just look at it and say, no, I hear you, but I'll be still. Now you're starting to get a taste of mindfulness to the body. It's really not so much doing anything. It's just being. I wonder what that's all about anyway. With minimal movement. Just take a slight roll to your right, bringing your outer right thigh towards the mat, and your inner left knee, inner left ankle towards the mat. And just a couple short moments here for, they call it a static rebound. Notice the stretch just kind of washing over your leg. Keeping your right knee bent. Bring your torso upright and put about maybe 90-ish degree bend in your left knee. Just rotate about 45 degrees to the left. You mean facing the corner where those two walls meet. It's kind of a good idea to have a level pelvis, so I like to put something under my right thigh bone right there at the hip to let my pelvis sort of level out like a teacup without spilling, right? Adjust ankles, find something in the undercarriage of your left hip, left leg. If you like mudra, Dhyana mudra is nice here. Left hand palm up, back of the right hand in your left palm, tips of thumbs together. And just let it rest there, right there, about belly button. Finding your edge. Oh, softening around it. Dipping into the stillness. And all you got to do is just, you watch the breath and I'll watch the time. And as the discomforts arise, it's important to kind of use some discernment. If this discomfort is sharp pain, well, that's just a notification from your partner, your body, to make an adjustment, a movement. But if it's more of a dull achiness, well, that's just letting you know that you're starting to stretch bones, fascia. Notice the difference in this discomfort. And as you look at that again, consider your adjectives. Adjectives like, oh, that's nice, it's sweet. Or, oh, that's uncomfortable, that sucks. These adjectives lean towards attachment and desire. And as we know, one of the noble truths, desire is the root of suffering. So perhaps you can describe it as a color or a sound. And maybe it's a flavor. I don't know. Only you know what you attach to. I wonder, do you observe, do you notice the natural rhythm of your breath? Do you see the warmth of your breath entering or the cooling of your breath entering? And as it exits, does it do the same thing, or is it the inverse? And while we observe these aspects of our physical being, we just notice and look and investigate. No bias. No mind of desire. And desire goes both ways. Wanting, or also not wanting. It's the same damn thing, right? Isn't that interesting? Again, take a look where you feel in your flesh? Where do you feel in your bones and in your breath? We move the next pose with minimal movement. Remove your block if you had one. Continue rotating left to where you face the wall on the left side of your room. And as you do, we open both legs straight on out, wide. I had a bunch of different names for this. There's some fancy Sanskrit. There's like some yin terms. But really all it is just spreading your legs wide, heels down, toes up. That's all it is. Level your pelvis. Consider sit bones, how they feel. Are they even? Consider the top rim of your pelvis as like the rim of a bucket. Is it level? And we can stay here, plenty going on, just like this. Or if you wish, walking hands down legs or walking hands forward, lift your breastbone up away from your pelvis, and then consider that bucket that is your pelvis, folding forward like you're just going to pour water over the front rim of your bucket. Maybe you come down halfway. Maybe you come down all the way. I don't know. It's your bucket. You tip it as much as you want to. Just find your edge. It's really no coincidence that such a dynamic pose would be selected as a peak, probably for a reason. Just melt into it, no gripping, no judging. Just come into it with some loving eyes of acceptance. It's called santosha. As you settle into the sensation, and you're once again observing breath. You maybe notice, oh, I really want to think about something. Okay, I'll give you something to think about. Use your mind's eyes and visualization. The surface right in front of you, whether it be carpet or mat or whatever it is. Just kind of visualize it in your mind. Now, if you were to snatch a molecule out of that surface, a little bitty molecule, and magnify it to the size of your fist, well, the molecule right next to it, you'd be, I don't know, about 150 meters away. It's like a football field for my American friends. And if you were to reach into that molecule, snatch out an atom, and magnify it to the size of your fist, Well, that next closest atom, it'd be like way off in Los Angeles, even further distance, more space. And see that atom, looking at it, visualize it. You see the protons, electrons, neutrons. You reach in, snatch one of those out, inflate it to the size of your fist. And how about that? The next closest proton, electron, neutron, it's about as far away as the moon, even more space. Isn't that interesting? As we look at this and consider it, it dawns the makeup of our physical being, all the physical world around us, everything. Well, it's just an image of the universe itself. Like a planet to the moon, like a moon to the solar system, and like a solar system to a galaxy. It's all the same. You are the universe. How about that? These spaces that we create through visualization and concentration. They're just like the gaps between the thoughts, the interstices, the spaces. The gaps between the vibrations. All the same. We develop the awareness of these spaces, these gaps. We become introduced to a power within us. Source, something special. The Atma and the soul. And so we hang out in our little galaxy here. In the spaces of the frequency. The interstices between thoughts. We dwell. And we look around. The stillness all around. And begin to realize, that discomfort in muscle tissue, that's thousands of miles away. Or the challenges, the overwhelms of the day-to-day. Oh gosh, they just sort of lost some of their power, didn't they? I wonder how that happened. Stay in the gap. Just let your breath take you right into that space. Well, now, no hurries, no worries. If you fold it forward, just come on back upright. Keep your legs wide. Move to the next pose. We just start to bend our left knee. Outside of your left knee is against the mat. Bend your right knee. Inner right knee is against the mat. Again, I'm gonna stick something under my left hip, kind of balance my pelvis. Adjust the angle of your thigh bone to find your edge. You know, it's almost like we've been here before, huh? You might be asking, what do I do with my hands? I don't know. What would you like to do with them? Put them on your shins? Or perhaps Dhyana Mudra, left palm up, back of right hand and left palm, thumb tips together. Exhales kind of soften you around your edge. You just melt like strawberry jelly on warm toast. Just melt into it. Yeah. Now you're there. So you just eliminate the unnecessary movements. And you really have no concerns of anything. You know Steve's gonna watch the clock, so you ain't even gotta worry about that. You just watch the breath. Follow it right into the gaps you just discovered recently. Oh, look, there's a gap right between the thoughts. Dive into that space. And you know, there's that concept of impermanence. Nothing, very little, is permanent. And it's said it is only the permanent which does not cause suffering. That impermanence brings with it some suffering. Well, what is permanent? Well, you got a glimpse of it when you delved into that space, that stillness. and see permanence in your true identity, your soul. There's permanence in the source of that identity, that common energy that we all consist of. I call it love. And there it is again, the rhythm of the breath. The breath just moving how it pleases. Natural. Kind of amazing how when we cease to attach to a thought or to a sensation, we discover that space, it loses its control, its power. And it just sort of becomes a phenomenon. Something just interesting, something curious. And when it loses its power, well, we learn the discomfort is not the suffering, it's just the sensation. The suffering is a result of our reaction. Isn't that interesting? We go to our final pose and just take your block out from under your left hip if it's there. And continue the rotation to the left towards the back of your mat. Place both hands on the mat. You kind of have your left knee towards your left wrist. Continue to roll up on top of your right thigh, lengthening your right leg. Toes of your right foot, bringing your right knee back, lengthening your right leg as you opening up your left hip, piriformis muscle. Stay up on top of your right thigh. Just let the left hip open, lengthening that little piece of meat way down underneath your left butt cheek. It's called the piriformis. Maybe you're up on your hands. Maybe you're down on forearms. Perhaps you're all the way flat like pancake against the ground. It's personal. It's your pose. It's wherever you need to be to find that edge. Yeah. Just letting your exhales soften you around it. Remaining still is one more time going into those gaps. That place where the source of your inner power resides, it's stillness. And know that that's with you at all times, wherever you are, whatever's going on. Maybe sitting in the park, everything is dandy. If you're under 30 years old, dandy means good. Maybe you're in the grocery store at the holidays. Things are rather apoplectic or rowdy. It doesn't matter. That place where your power resides is with you. And now you know how to access it. How to dip into it. How to disarm the stimulus that can sometimes be rather disturbing. Called equanimity. To feel without reaction. We must experience our experiences. We must feel our feels. But there ain't a single rule in the world saying we gotta react. We choose to react. Just like humility is a muscle we have to exercise to develop. Equanimity, same thing. It's a muscle. We practice with it and we develop it. And as we practice it and feed it, and it grows stronger. Well, being that it's a benevolent trait, automatically we're going to be starving its counterpart on the malevolent side, reactivity. That's how you develop your CDs, your powers, your cool Jedi stuff. Now just a slight roll to your left, bringing your outer right thigh towards the mat, or pardon me, your outer left thigh towards the mat, your inner right knee, inner right ankle towards the surface you're on. Just for a moment, get you that rebound. Feel that washing down from knee, from hip, that Hmm. That warmth, that little wave in your body. Yeah, you just touched your soul. From there, with just the minimal amount of movement, return up just like you started the seated. And perhaps this time your left leg is in front. How did that happen? And it doesn't matter where you're facing, front of the mat, back of the mat, corner of the room. Just get seated, grounded, still. If you wish to take mudra with me, Abhaya Hridaya, fierce heart, cross your wrists so that your right hand is closer to your face than your left hand. Bring the back of your hands together. Interlace your pinkies. Interlace your ring fingers. Skip a digit and interlace your index fingers. Just bind them. Then touch the tip of your middle fingers to the tips of your thumbs. Plant that right at your heart. Ooh. And this particular mudra offers some pretty cool things like heart and lung function, aids in recovery from illness or injury, and that's all cool. What I like is it has a tendency to lift the spirit, increase the vibrancy, elevate the vibes, baby. Yeah, that's the cool stuff. And lengthen your spine, nice, seat, grounded, breathing. And if it's appropriate, just eyes closed. Looking at that point between your eyebrows. Brahmadaya Drishti. Or I like to call it the movie screen on the inside of my skull. As you stare at that movie screen, see little pinpoints of light right there at your eyeballs. Just little pinpoints of light, bright light. Oh, there's another one right between your eyebrows. Little pinpoint of light. One right there at the center of your chin. Put another one at your throat. Little pinpoint of light at the tip of each shoulder. Oh yeah, you know, one on each nipple while you're at it. Another one on your heart. Perhaps one at the solar plexus, the belly button, and the pubic bone. Couple at the crest of each hip. One at each kneecap. A little pinpoint of light at the tip of each toe and each finger. We got one on each sit bone. tailbone. Right there at the middle of your lumbar, put one there. One between your shoulder blades. And then one at the bottom point of each shoulder blade. How about one at the back of your neck, right where your neck meets your skull, right there. One on each earlobe. And then you got one right there at the crown of your skull. Now covered in stars. Perhaps you remember reading it somewhere or hearing it somewhere. You are stardust. All the compounds, elements found in stars are found in your physical body as well. You are the universe. Now offer your mantra. Your mantra, Aham Brahmasmi. Translated, it means I am the universe. And as you repeat, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, perhaps rather than saying it, vibrate it where you feel it, resonating along the surface between breastbone and heart. Feel it vibrating in that area right there. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Continue your mantra, your visualization, as long as you wish. I offer thanks, gratitude to my teachers, and to each of you, and to all who do the work to elevate the vibration of this planet. As always, I do give you my gratitude, my love. Om Shanti.